You could ask why the media are helping Democrats in their attempt to wreck Brett Kavanaugh's nomination to the Supreme Court, but that's like questioning a mother who stays home from work to care for her sick son. That's what family do for each other. Christine Blasey Ford's accusation that Kavanaugh, some 30 years ago when they were both teens, held her down and attempted to rape her at a high school party is the fishiest story since The Little Mermaid, yet the entire media are playing along, calling for an indefinite halt on Kavanaugh's confirmation vote until we can get to the bottom of things, which would conveniently prove impossible. The timeline suggests it's possible Ford's claim was solely made for the purpose of getting Kavanaugh to withdraw his name. First, Sen. Dianne Feinstein, D. Califf, said last week that she knew of the allegation, but wouldn't share Ford's name. Kavanaugh denied he had done anything wrong, so that didn't work. Next, The Washington Post on Sunday night published Ford's name, and her lawyer, Deborah Katz, said the following morning that Ford was willing to testify to the Senate. Kavanaugh again denied he did anything wrong and immediately said he would also testify to the Senate. Sen. Chuck Grassley, Iowa, head of the Senate Judiciary Committee, then said he would postpone the confirmation vote scheduled for this week until both Kavanaugh and Ford can testify on Monday, Sept. 24. Ford is suddenly nowhere to be found, with Grassley saying he hasn't heard from her, and her lawyer now says Ford won't testify unless the FBI first investigates her 3-decades-old rumor, which, by the way, Ford has few very important details about, like details on where and when it happened. So evasive is Ford that the only photo of her that cable news can conjure up is an unfocused image of her wearing sunglasses. There have been more clear sightings of the Chupacabra. She's in her early 50s and has no Facebook, Instagram, or even LinkedIn. But the media are unfazed. Both the New York Times and the Washington Post said in their initial stories on Ford's identity that she had, taken a polygraph test that determined her to be truthful. Real polygraph experts will tell you the accuracy of such tests rate just above mood rings. It's no puzzle why the websites offering polygraph exams for money all look like they were put together by personal injury lawyers. It's a scam, like Scientology, auditing, palm reading, or another farewell tour. The New York Times editorial board followed up, declaring that the only acceptable approach to Ford's claim was for Republicans to do nothing less than delay a vote on Kavanaugh for however long it takes, or until after the midterms if Democrats end up taking the Senate. Your choice, Republicans. And even if Ford decides to show up to give her testimony, the media have signaled that she should receive nothing less than absolute deference and, if possible, a chest of diamonds. It's why we keep hearing about how she should be treated with respect, something even Republicans terrified by the situation are now saying. Define respect. Is anyone allowed to ask Ford more about when and where her alleged assault took place? When Sen. John Cornyn, Texas, said he wanted to know those basic details, CNN's Chris Siliza, whose own job is to ask things like where and when, said Cornyn was walking a very dangerous line here. The only acceptable outcome for the media is for Republicans to abandon Kavanaugh and then see him withdraw in defeat. Coincidentally, that's what Democrats want, too.